welcome to Wednesday, welcome to your tarot card reading. I hope everyone is doing wonderfully. There is this energy in the air. It's intense, it's dynamic. It was the Scorpio full moon last night, and I think I had to wait. I mean, we were scheduled to speak today anyway, but before I could even get into the Taurus readings, I had to wait for this full moon. I think there was this shift, and we've been going through a lot of these shifts recently, I have to say, for the last 2 years more so than ever. And I feel like there was this real significant shift that took place with this full moon. I think it's safe to say it's perhaps time to remove yourself from people, situations, places that might be holding you back. All right, Virgo, deep breathing with me. Let's go. 1, 2, 3. Let all of it go. Book a reading with me, rubyreadstarot.com. Hit the thumbs up button and show me your love. Let's relax. Let's chill out. It's our day. And let's really get into this message for you guys. Welcome, Sage. Welcome, Susan. Welcome, everybody. It's Wednesday. It's our day. It's our time. Virgo, hi. I hope everyone is doing so amazingly. Grab a drink. Focus on the ease in our breathing. Be grateful for this sweet moment that we're in right now. Virgo, there is a lot of people taking a lot of losses visibly. And I think there is this need more so now than ever for gratitude, for regardless of whatever situation we're in, the fact that we're alive, that we get to open our eyes in the morning and that we get to breathe and we get to witness butterflies and the growth of so many beautiful different things. The flowers are beginning to bud. Soon they will be blooming. And Virgo, this is a really good opportunity for you to connect with the things that make you who you are. You represent nature. And I'm sure for the most part, a lot of you are really into things to do with nature and earth. Use this season, I think, to put on those rose-colored glasses. Appreciate the Venus of this sign, this earth sister sign of Taurus. It's about a softer life. It's about pleasure. But there is this air of laser-like there is this air of laser-like. Hit the thumbs up button. Okay, here we go. We have some cards for you guys. We have the Justice card. We have the 8 of Swords. We have the Hierophant. And we have the Moon card. So there is, Virgo, this energy of scales being balanced and justice being brought to a situation where you may have felt a little bit bound and limited. Please understand that this was just a prison of your own making. Taurus season, especially this full moon, might bring about some need for you to communicate as honestly, as expressively as possible, with a very clear open throat chakra. Libra and Taurus energy here. There's a lot of Venus here. So please expect just naturally, Virgo, for your finances welcome, Jenna. Welcome, love. Okay. Let's get some more messages for Virgo. In their highest and best good. Ah, the betrayal, the sneaking around, the lying, the deceiving, the cheating. Virgo, if that's not the case, let yourself off the hook. There is somewhere where you may have had to do that Virgo thing that Virgos do, where they are really good at, you know, the bird's eye vision, and more often than not, they can see like plots and plans against them before they're even happening, and you kind of have this really good knack at taking the swords formed against you and using them exactly for the same foe that want to have a piece of you. Virgo, there is something here about you understanding that there may have been some sort of disingenuity, dishonesty that may have been surrounding you. I don't know if you would have been aware of it, or if it was something that may have taken you bit by surprise. Either way, Virgo, there is this air of knowing that if you know, and if you sense, and if your intuition is telling you that someone is not who they say they are, if someone is not in their best interest, their actions are not in their best interest for you, if you know that this person may be trying to take from you more than they should, or if you know that there has been a level of dishonesty, mostly behind your back, then Virgo, pay attention to the company that you're keeping yourself with. And it's probably a really good idea for you to understand that sometimes Seven of Swords, Eight of Swords, oof, toxic games people play, huh? I feel, Virgo, there may have been somebody trying to steal your energy from you in ways that you may not necessarily have known about, or you may not have understood. Either way, there's been an element of outright theft, energetic or otherwise, that may have been there to cause some sort of restriction and limitation, to place some sort of restriction and limitation on you, Virgo. There is something here about you needing to understand that justice will prevail, and there's a need for you to connect spiritually, and there's a need for you to speak really, really honestly about everything that you have felt has been hidden from you, wherever it is you may have felt deceived, wherever it is that you may have felt that you knew intuitively that there was something that was not right about someone, something, some stories that were not making sense. I think, Virgo, there is a much needed liberation from you, for you, from a certain situation that may have been really consuming a lot more of your energy and only backing you into this kind of prison of your own making, of your thoughts, of limitations, of yeah. I think you gotta appreciate that this full moon was super intense, right? It was a really good opportunity to be as dynamic as you can about transformation. The two major arcana cards, the archetypes that have come up, justice and balance, and the need for congregation, intense focus, communication, higher consciousness. There is something about you needing to really understand what's truly important in life. And when I say that, I feel like there may have been certain discoveries, Virgo, that you needed to make. And when you find out the truth about certain situations, please don't use this to hold yourself back. You don't have the time anymore. This is now time for you to let yourself off the hook. As simple as that. It doesn't matter. They don't matter. It didn't matter. The Tower card and the Ten of Wands. It's really obvious that whatever this disruption was, it came to end a really burdensome cycle. You may feel a little bit spent after this cycle. You may feel a little bit exhausted. You may feel a little bit overwhelmed. But what you need to understand is that everything that you acquired in the process of this journey was necessary for you to close this certain chapter with enough strength and with enough resources and with enough knowing that, I'm so sorry about that, Susan. I think there's something really important about theft here. Anyone who has to steal from someone else, anybody else who has to deceive someone else, anyone who has to be deceptive, deliberately deceptive towards another person, that person, their actions never win because they've tainted their actions with a lower vibration. This is not about succeeding off of the back of others. The universe has a law, and it's had laws way longer before humans were even here. So we're in this societal situation at the moment that's been so tainted and poisoned by falsities and ideologies that are based in nonsense, and they're not serving society. And so a lot of people might be confronted by these shadow beings that are literally possessed by lower vibrational demonic entities, even, that might be acting out on agendas that are not even like, that are so supernaturally tied up to the grander scheme of things. A lot of you guys may not actually realize it, but I deliberately have narrowed down the viewership on this channel because I know that the people that I'm speaking to is a very select group of people, and not these messages, they don't apply to everyone, they can't. But those that they do apply to, you have to know that there is something incredibly special about you and what you're here to do. A reason why you may have been targeted, and a reason why you may have been unfairly abused or attacked. You have to know that as someone who strongly believes in we are creating the projection, it is so important that you understand that you have every right to be here and exist. You have every right to eat. You have every right to breathe. You have every right to your autonomy and your sovereignty. Those that may have stolen from you, outrightly deceived you, wanted your bad for you, they're never going to be successful. They might have short-term wins, but karma is part of this program. There's no escaping it. And when you're willing to be reckless with how you're tipping the scales, please expect there to be some sort of karmic justice. So Virgo, wherever it is that you may have very well deliberately, by deception, straight up deception, where it is that you may have been backed into a place where you have felt stuck, or you have felt limited, or you have felt less than, or you have felt like there has been something taken from you, I feel like this full moon is absolutely as intense and as dynamic as it was, brought things crumbling down where you can see through the bullshit with the fullness of this full moon and see people's true intention. It was to end, I think, something that has been quite burdensome and problematic for you, Virgo. But please understand that at the bottom of the deck is that Wheel of Fortune. These life lessons that we have to go through are in order for us to understand that evolution is non-stop. It keeps going. And when there are things that are just not the right size or the right fit, they're only going to remain shaky and imbalanced and unstable. And when the tower needs to crumble on certain things, it's a really good idea to allow yourself the opportunity to go and find something better for you. Close out this burdensome cycle by setting yourself free and focusing on removing the triggers and the limitations. Focus on removing the things that you thought were important, but they didn't give you the importance that you had hoped that they would. Because ultimately, if that was their response, then they don't matter. If you don't matter for them, they don't matter for you, Virgo. You are about to get really, really lucky in love. And there was something about this really karmic, toxic energy where you had to fight certain battles in order to better understand yourself. Aries energy, Capricorn energy. There's decisions that you need to make about falsities and smoke and mirrors and truths and lies. Because Virgo, Queen of Pentacles, 5 of Cups, Page of Cups, the Star card, Knight of Cups, Ace of Pentacles. Give me a moment, let me line these cards up and I will get into this. Okay. So, the deception, the things that were deliberately hidden, the need to have you limiting yourself and feeling burdened. You know, that chapter, that cycle, that storyline, that narrative has now come to an end, and there is this tower moment which may actually feel like there is a need, Virgo, for you to step into your higher consciousness by expecting and demanding the justice that you know that you are owed. I feel it's pretty safe to say that whatever battles that you may have been through right now with this devil type character has brought forward a lucky period of time for you, especially when it comes to love and relationships. There is a decision that needs to be made about the reality of certain situations. And in this, you get the opportunity, Virgo, to bring the attention back on you, see where your focus may have been, and begin to understand what it is that you need to do to get your focus and perspective and your attention on the right things in order to get you to where you're supposed to be. You need to expect some sort of emotional outreach. This is an invitation, some form of a proposal, something that is being made to you that may start off small, but it is rather substantial. This is from a star. This is a celebrity. This is a famous person. This is someone who may be famous within the community. This is someone who is well known, may have Aries influence, may have Aquarius influence, Capricorn. There is something that you need to know about the offers, the proposals, the invitations that are being made forward to you now, Virgo. This is to make up for the struggle and the burden and just the outright theft, the energetic theft from those vampire types that may have taken from you way more than they should have ever been allowed to. What's important for you to know right now, Virgo, is that the more you're willing to tap into your Queen of Pentacles inherent worth, one who really understands how Gaia works, how the earth works, how the earth turns. If you are to use this moment in time to allow yourself a moment, you've been through a lot. What has been illuminated to you now, you know that you can't go back from or back to, because you've neared the end of a really prominent cycle. So once that tower crumbles, it's not a bad thing. You get to take a really deep sigh of relief, and that burden, that weight on your chest gets lifted. It's important right now, Virgo, to speak, communicate, remain very connected to source, to Gaia, to the universe, to yourself, to your friends, to your family, your congregation, your people. There is justice that you are owed, and this justice is things working out for you way better than you ever imagined, especially in love and relationships. You winning by understanding that anything that may have been playing out in your 3D when it comes to abuse and mistreatment is part of you that needs addressing still and healing. Take the attention off of the 3D right now, especially if it's showing you not such nice things. There is a need for you to understand that there is authority. Mercury going direct again in the sign of Aries. Spring into action. Focus on making those decisions about where it is that you have been deliberately lied to and where it is you have allowed yourself to be deceived. And what does that say about where you're at? And what does that really say about the stability that you have been in? And how really, if that was truly stable, stability will come from you first. Firm. Take a minute. Take a rest. The things that you, the seeds that you sow, the minute they start sprouting, you can't expect fruit and flowers from them. So stop waiting for progress. Sit still. Appreciate what you have in your lap right now. Your focus needs to shift. And I think you'll find that in this season, in Taurus season, you have a lot of opportunities to go out and have fun. Some of you need to understand that there are invitations that are being made to you literally from people that you would consider to be stars and celebrities. Okay, so the deck that I'm pulling from now, the Oracle cards, are the Goddess Guidance by Doreen Virtue. The first card that came out was Sekhmet. Be strong. You are stronger than you think you are, and your strength assures a happy outcome. I feel like Virgo, this time it has been one of those things where it's like, you have to do this for you. Like, nobody is more important than you. Nobody is like, nobody takes precedent over you. Nobody is allowed to kind of rule you or take ownership over you. Virgos, you are the value. You're the harvest. You guys are the goods. If your value is being deterred from you, it's going to create an imbalance in the grander scheme of things, because you've been given this purpose for a purpose. So anyone kind of siphoning your value or diminishing your value or belittling you or lowering your value is purposefully creating a disruption in the grander scheme of things. Things like this result in the lowering of the Schumann resonance even. There's a grander scheme to all of this stuff. Pay attention to this right now. You might have to understand that in the liberation that you take, literally letting yourself off the hook, letting yourself get away from things where you know that you may have been just kept in a situation where things were not being made clear to you. Get yourself free. Get yourself off the hook. The cycle has to end. The towers come down, and it is absolutely time to reconnect with what you know is this Taurus energy. Pleasure. Eat good food. Go out with your friends. Wear nice clothes. Put on the jewelry. Undying love. The love you have shared is eternal regardless of the situation. Result. And you know what? At the end of everything, ultimately, I'm sure if you guys are to perhaps reflect, love really honestly is what it all comes down to. Love energy doesn't die, and it doesn't need to transmute. the fact that you had that energy within you in the first place is something to be taken quite seriously. This love that you were pouring out around you to others might need to come back to yourself now in order for you to be able to be as strong as possible, and then align yourself with the fact that you are way stronger than you even think you are. And it's that very strength that is going to assure an absolute happy outcome for yourself. Fairness. This situation will be handled in a fair and just manner. People can't go around and abuse people like this, right? Like I said, justice twice. Virgo, there is something that is going to be handled fairly for you. Libra energy, there is something that is absolutely going to be taken care of for you, where scales are going to be balanced and you will be given the justice that you deserve. The arts, express yourself through creative activities. I think that's really nice actually, Virgo, because I think that this season where you're being offered this opportunity to kind of like take a minute to just rest, take a pause. It's not about the rush. It's really not about that right now in this season. It's about you connecting and really understanding that if the plants around you are budding, they're not blooming. That means give it a minute. Give yourself a minute, Virgo. This is the time for budding, right? There's a lot happening beneath the scenes, behind the scenes, if you will. And energetically, the more you're willing to really get into that Venus energy, that Queen of Pentacles, patient, aware of the eternity, not dependent on situations, and really focused on your strength. Your desire is within reach. Have faith as everything is working in your favor. Whom do you need to forgive? As you release old anger or resentment, you will find that your wishes will come true. You need to let these negative influences, pregnancy, the birth of a child brings great blessings to you and the world. Perfect timing. This is the right time for you to move forward. Vegetarian. A new way of eating gives you more energy, greater health, clarity, and stronger manifestation abilities. And let go. As you surrender the need to control, your relaxed energy rapidly attracts your desires. I saw this. I just want to take it because it says express your individuality as you allow yourself, as you allow your true self to shine. Allow your true self to shine because you're awesome. And the bottom of that was spring. Your desires fully manifest as the flowers begin to bloom. This was said about you in the other reading also, Virgo. You're going to have to use this time to heal from betrayal and forgiveness, and understand that being put in a place where you were purposefully deceived might have taken its toll on your psyche, and coming to the end of certain chapters and perhaps even abrupt endings is sometimes an opportunity for you to connect to something higher, connect to your coven, connect to your group of friends, connect to the people that make you feel safe. Expect that there is some sort of justice and karmic balance that's taking place in a situation, and that the situation will be handled in a fair and just manner. You're about to get really fortunate in partnerships, love relationships. There was, however, the unbinding that was necessary and the severing that was necessary to toxic cycles, where decisions now need to be made about what you can and what you cannot tolerate anymore in your life. You need some clarity, and that comes from shifting your perspective and knowing, Virgo, that there is some sort of very fun and flirty options and offers that are being made towards you. And I think somewhere amongst them, some of you might actually find a real life shining star that's really weird. Be strong right now. That love that you gave out, that love that you shared, understand that regardless of any situation, the worth and value that you have brought to the world just by expressing and containing and being able to give that kind of love is what is going to bring you everything. So have faith as everything is working in your favor. But do this one thing right now by shifting that perspective. You might need to release some old anger and resentment. And I think that you might find that that might actually help make those wishes come true. Just remember one thing though, that this season is really quite important for you, because you're going to begin to see that as the flowers begin to bloom, your desires are fully manifesting. So use this time right now in the arts, Virgo. I know I'm speaking to a room full of artists right now, and this is absolutely the time that you express yourself through the creative activities, because express your individuality. Allow your true self to shine, because you are awesome. So let go and surrender the need to control. Your relaxed energy rapidly attracts your desires, and this is absolutely the right time for you to move forward. Think about the food that you're consuming at the moment. Some of you might need to practice vegetarianism right now. And for those of you that are pregnant, congratulations. Book a reading with me, rubyreadstarot.com. Support me, give the video a thumbs up, leave me a comment, let me know how you're doing, become a member here at the channel. I think, Virgo, there's a lot to unpack here, and there's a lot for you to close out. So take your moment with it and yourself. Be as gentle and as loving as Taurus season wants to be to you. That means having a lot of fun, going out, eating a lot of good food, taking care of yourself, exercising, wearing the nicest clothes, being at the best parties, Virgo. Come on now. I love you. I think you know you're really loved. Everyone loves you, Virgo. I'll speak to you later. Have a good one.